Hi everyone on YouTube and all the NFL YouTube prognosticators and football fans everywhere. This is Andrew Warren, back in once again, giving you my thoughts about Week 12 and my picks for Week 13 for the 2021 NFL season. Check it out. Well, for me this week, it wasn't a Jacqueline High week for me. So anyways, that being said, I went straight up, 6-9 overall. For that week, it was a really under 500 week, which is not really that good. So, but overall, I'm 113, 57-1. Against the spread, I went about under 500 on that too. I went 7-8, making it 88, 83-2 overall in the year, which is kind of not that great either. And in the over and under, I went above 500. I went 9-6, and I went 90, 83-2 right now overall in the year. So, my thoughts about last week was a really interesting one. For the Thanksgiving Day games, it was kind of like the defensive game for the Bears in Detroit, though, which the Bears pulled out in the game-winning field goal in that one, so it was good for the Bears to win out in Thanksgiving. And in Dallas and in Vegas, that was a big fight, though. That was a big over and under. That was a big one in that one and everything else. It was a high-flying game and all that. But, well, Dallas took the win, but now right now, Dallas has a COVID problem right now, which I'll get to that in a bit. So in Buffalo and New Orleans, that was a really a good one in there. That was kind of like a low-scoring game on that. Kind of like a defensive game itself, so if you think about that, but on that one as well. So, and anyway else, the Bucks in Indianapolis. So, the Bucks came back against Indianapolis on the running game. So, they'll probably get the running game going, which is pretty underrated in this season for me. So, it's all about Tom Brady and the offense, throwing the football, but they need to get running some credibility too, I think. And for Houston and the Jets, I think that was a kind of a dumb play in the end, though, and that really cost Houston to get the win. But and it just cost me to get some points out of that. For Philadelphia, New York, though, that was kind of like an interesting game if you ask me on that one, because I really thought that Philly was going to pull that one out in the end, but they didn't really. But, I kind of had a feeling that they weren't going to cover, but that was a kind of a case scenario for that. But it is what it is on that one. So, hey, what can you do? Well, that being said, the Panthers in Miami, Miami won 4 straight. Now they're reaching out for the postseason point for them. So, I think for that case scenario, I think for Carolina, I think as of right now, I think they're going to try to focus on what they're going to do. I think Sam Connolly, hold on that one, I forget. And somebody from Carolina is out for the year. I forget who it was. I read an article recently. Christian McCaffrey is out for the season. So I had to look it up. I apologize. But anyways, Christian McCaffrey is done for the year due to the ankle injury from that game. So I think it was a really a tough one for Carolina, losing their franchise player. Yeah. Hey. Sorry. I think Coco wanted to say hi, so hey, Coco. I know she's a little fun one. So, but anyways, that being said, let's continue on. The Titans and the Patriots, and that was a really close first half until the Patriots just blown the door opens in the second half. That being said, though, that's going to be a really good one. Now they won 6 straight, and now they're going for their 7th straight when they face Buffalo on Monday night. So that should be a good one to watch. And Cincinnati and Pittsburgh, I think that's a game that I kind of expected. Pittsburgh might not cover, but I didn't expect a blowout like that. So it's kind of like the worst loss in Big Ben's career, I think. So I think this is going to be a tough one to see going forward. So I think it's time to rebuild on offense, I think, for Pittsburgh. So I think we'll see how that one goes. In Jacksonville and Atlanta, I think that was a game that Urban Meyer should be embarrassed about, really. In any rate. But that being said, I think for Jacksonville's point, you need to play for pride at this point. So in the LA Chargers in Denver, that was a big upset for Denver, and I think they pulled it out really well, and they kind of just smoked the doors out of the LA Chargers in this one, but they end up getting the win out of that. So, anyways, that being said, I think that's going to be the... Oh, sorry. The camera moved a little bit, so I kind of fixed it. Anyway, sorry about that, guys. I just slid down a little bit, so I was fixing it. Anyways, that being said, I think that's a game that we're all going to expect. Yeah, I didn't expect to be a, like how Jacksonville did. I thought defensively they played well, but it's not really. Offensively, they need to work some cuts out. Green Bay and the Rams, that was a game that I thought the Rams were going to come back and win, but they didn't. But what are you going to do? But the Minnesota Vikings and San Francisco, San Francisco got the win. But now is the question, is it Jimmy Garoppolo's time now? Or is it going to be... But we'll see how that one's going to go. It's kind of like a weird situation for 49ers right now, if I would have to say the least. But I really think for Kyle Shanahan, what they should do for Jimmy Garoppolo and all the Trey Lance and everything else like that. I think my case scenario, I think why not try out Trey Lance? Give him a shot. Let's see what he can do. So, I don't know. That being said, on Sunday Night Football, Baltimore-Cleveland, that was a defensive game. Probably the most defensive game of the year, probably, so far, if I have to say that. But anyways, Baltimore just squeezed out the win, and they covered the spread just barely. And I think they're going to probably wrap up that, probably the best record, and probably the AFC Central. It looks like that's going to be the case. But as if I remember correctly, I don't remember. Picked early. My early predictions, I think. I'm trying to find it, but one of my early predictions, I thought I picked Baltimore to win, but I got to double check that again just to make sure. But anyways, for Monday Night Football, I thought that was going to be a good comeback for Seattle, but they didn't really pull it out. I thought Russell Wilson will get it on his birthday, but he didn't really get it. But he got the touchdown at the last second, but they just failed to get the 2-point conversion. So it was kind of like that was a tough loss, and I think that's going to seal Seattle's playoff chances. They're probably going to have a losing record for the first time in a while. And I think the way I see for Seattle's case, I think they're going to play for pride, maybe just go for a young defensive talent right now. So I think that's the way that I see it, how it goes. So anyways, that's what my thoughts about Week 12. Let's get on to my Week 13 picks. All right, my Week 13 picks are here. And if you're for buys this week, if you have the Browns, the Packers, the Panthers, and Titans on your fantasy league, if you have like Ryan Tannehill, Aaron Rodgers, Baker Mayfield, Browns defense, Cam Newton. So if you have anyone from Tennessee or anyone Tennessee's defense or anything like that, just bench them this week because they won't be playing this week. All right. That being said, though, let's kick things off with a Thursday night game for Dallas Cowboys and the New Orleans Saints. It's like a week, full week for them, for both of them, and they play on Thursday night for Thanksgiving. And that being said on that, for Dallas's case, I was originally going to pick Dallas to win, but after what I heard about all the COVID calls, especially right now, which I heard yesterday, that Mike McCarthy is got tested positive, so he's going to miss out Thursday night, and Dan Quinn is going to be the man to step up to the plate, which I really think that's going to be a really, really a hard one to swallow up on. But I think that being said on that one, it's a flip side. It's hard for Dallas because they're dealing with all the COVID issues right now. But if you're Dan Quinn right now, this is another opportunity to just get a coaching position out of this. So it's kind of like a win-win for Dan Quinn out of this. So if I were Dan Quinn, I would probably play it smartly and try not to blow it like he did with the Atlanta Falcons. But anyways, that being said, I was going to pick Dallas to win that game, but I decided with all the COVID crises that are going on in there, it's probably going to be too much for Dallas right now. And it's on the road, too, and they have to travel. So I'm going to take the New Orleans Saints over the Dallas Cowboys, that game at home. So I'm going to take the New Orleans Saints at home, again, over the Dallas Cowboys as an upset pick of the week. One of my upsets of the week. On the line, though, the Dallas is favored by 6 in this game. I'm going to take Dallas plus 6. And the over and under, it's 47. I'm going to go the under 47 because I think it's going to be a low-scoring game on this one. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Atlanta Falcons, a divisional game for the NFC South. This is a game that Tampa Bay must win just to keep their division hopes alive. which I think they're pretty much going to wrap it up anyway. So that being said alone, yeah, for Tampa Bay, I think they're going to go on the road and beat the Atlanta Falcons in this game. So I'm going to take the Tampa Bay Buccaneers over the Atlanta Falcons in this game. On the line, though, Tampa Bay is favored by 10 in this game. I'm going to take Tampa Bay minus 10. Over and under, it's 50.5. I'm going to go over 50.5. The Arizona Cardinals and the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, this is a game I expected to be really a high-flying game. I expected to have great offenses on both sides of the ball. I really think Arizona and Cincinnati, they're going to be... Oh, Chicago, not Cincinnati. I apologize. So, Arizona and Chicago, I take it back. I apologize. So, anyways, that being said, I think for this game, for Arizona-Chicago, I think this is a game that what I expect to be a high-flying game and stuff like that. And for Kyle Murray, I think he's going to put some numbers up. And I think that's the way I'm going to see it for Arizona for this game. So I'm going to take the Arizona Cardinals over the Chicago Bears in this game. And on the line, though, Arizona's favored by 7 in this game. I'm going to take Arizona minus 7. Over and under, it's 45. I'm going to go over 45. If Justin Fields wasn't going to play, if he was going to play, I was going to take Chicago plus 7 because I expect to have it to be 2 young quarterbacks in there. So that's what I kind of expect on that. Now I go to Cincinnati. Cincinnati and the LA Chargers. Now this is a game that Cincinnati must win. They did get a win against Pittsburgh. Now they need to get another win, which I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, if Baltimore loses to Pittsburgh and Cincinnati wins, I think Cincinnati takes over for that division. I think, but I gotta double check that just to make sure. But anyways, that being said, now I'm gonna take the Cincinnati Bengals over the LA Chargers in this game because after what I saw for LA Chargers defense, I'm not sure if I can trust the Chargers right now. So I'm gonna take the Cincinnati Bengals over the LA Chargers in this game at Cincinnati. On the line though, now Cincinnati is favored by 2.5 in this game. I'm gonna take Cincinnati minus 2.5. Over and under, it's 50.5. I'm going to shoot for under 50.5 on this one. The Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. The Minnesota Vikings are playing at home. They're fresh in there, and they're having some from a tough loss. Now they get to play the Detroit Lions, who haven't won a game yet. So if you're Detroit, though, this could be a good opportunity to get your first win. But if you're Minnesota, you need to keep your playoff hopes alive. You need to win this game. And I think that's what's going to be the case for Minnesota right now. So I'm going to take the Minnesota Vikings at home over the Detroit Lions. On the line, though, the Lions are favored by, the Vikings are favored by 7 in this game. I will give Detroit this. I'll take Detroit plus 7 because I think they have a really good defense in that one. Over and under, it's 46.5. I'm going to go under 46.5. The Miami Dolphins and the New York Giants. Now, this is a must-win for Miami to keep their playoff hopes alive. That's another playoff team that they need to get their playoff hopes in there and to keep their win streak to 5 right now. So and it's at home in Miami, so I'm gonna take the Miami Dolphins over the New York Giants in this game. On the line though, Miami is favored by 2.5 in this game. I'm gonna take Miami minus 2.5. Over and under is 41. I'm gonna shoot for over 41.5. The Philadelphia Eagles and the New York Jets. Now this is a game that Philadelphia must win. They keep their playoff redemption alive though. Or even better, they want to sneak up on the Dallas Cowboys and get that division. So anyways, that being said, I think that's going to be the case. They want to sneak up on Dallas. I think Philadelphia is going to take advantage on the Thursday night loss from Dallas if that happens. So I'm going to take the Philadelphia Eagles over the New York Jets in this game. On the line now, Philadelphia is favored by 7 in this game. I'm going to take the Philadelphia minus 7. Over and under, it's 45. I'm going to go under 45. The Indianapolis Colts and the Houston Texans. Now, this is a game that Indianapolis must win if they want to get a shot at the playoffs. And if you're Houston, you're probably thinking you're probably going to play for pride at this point. So, for the Indianapolis Colts, though, I think they're going to win this one out in Houston. So, I'm going to take the Colts over the Houston Texans in this game. On the line, though, Indianapolis favored by 7.5 in this game. I'm going to take Indianapolis minus 7.5. Over and under is 46. I'm going to go under 46. The Las Vegas Raiders and the Washington football team. Now, this is a game that I expect the Washington football team to kind of be expected. I expect it to be a defensive game. So for the Las Vegas Raiders in this one, but I think the Vegas Raiders, they're gonna probably win this one outright. So I'm gonna say the Las Vegas Raiders over the Washington football team in this one. On the line though, the Vegas Raiders are -2.5 in this game. I'm gonna take the Raiders -2.5. Over and under it's 49. I'm gonna go under 49. The LA Rams and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, this is a game that I expect the Jacksonville Jaguars to have a defensive game if you're going to beat the Rams. But, don't worry about my cat. Don't worry about Coco. But anyways, that being said, I think for Jacksonville's case, if you want a defensive game, you got to win this game out. But as for the Rams, I think they're going to have to win out this game just to prove a point, though. But I think that being said, I think I'm going to take the LA Rams over the Jacksonville Jaguars in this game. And I'm going to say this, I think Urban Meyer's going to have his job in trouble because of that. So I'm going to take the LA Rams over the Jacksonville Jaguars in this game. On the line, though, I will give Jacksonville Jaguars this. The Rams are favored by 13.5 in this game. I'm going to take Jacksonville plus 13.5. Over and under it's 48. I'm going to go under 48. The Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers in this game. So this is going to be a very, very tough game. I expect to be I wouldn't be surprised if the spread would be pushed, but I kind of expect it will be. But I have to pick one on the spread, so I'm going to choose the winner on this one. So on this game, I expect to have the Baltimore Ravens to win out this one in a defensive game because I think Pittsburgh's going to be really, really pissed off, and they probably want to take it out on Baltimore, try to keep their division hopes alive. So I think that's going to be the case in area, but I don't think it's going to happen after Big Ben and the Pittsburgh's offense is doing. So I'm going to take the Baltimore Ravens over the Pittsburgh Steelers in this game in Pittsburgh. On the line now, Baltimore's favored by 3 in this game. I'm going to take Baltimore -3. Over and under is 44. I'm going to go under 44. But like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if this game is going to be a push in this game. If Baltimore wins by 3 or something like that. Because I expect it to be something like a crazy ending like they always do in all the years past. So, anyways, that being said, the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks. Now, if you're Seattle, you're pretty much playing for parity at this point. But if you're San Francisco, you're fighting for the playoffs. So, yeah, in San Francisco, I believe they won 4 straight after they won 5-2 or something like that. So, I'm going to take the San Francisco 49ers over the Seattle Seahawks in Seattle in this game. On the line, though, San Francisco's favored by 2.5 in this game. I'm going to take San Francisco -2.5. Over and under, it's 46.5. I'm going to go under 46.5. Sunday Night Football, the Kansas City Chiefs and the Denver Broncos. Now, this game I expected to be a really, really tough matchup. After what Denver did to LA Chargers, I wouldn't be surprised if they won't be covering the spread again because of that. So, that being said, I still think Kansas City's going to win out this game because it's an Arrowhead. So I'm going to take the Kansas City Chiefs over the Denver Broncos in this game. On the line now, the Kansas City Chiefs are favored by 9.5 in this game, but I'm going to take Denver plus 9.5. So in this game, because I expect to have a similar situation for the LA Chargers right now. Over and under, it's 47.5. I'm going to go over 47.5. Monday Night Football, probably the biggest Monday Night Football game of the year. In this game, it's my New England Patriots and the Buffalo Bills right now. Now this game is going to be a big, big, big game. I expect it to be. I wouldn't be surprised it would be a defensive game, really. But I'm going to hedge my bets on this game because I expect to be a defensive battle in this game because Buffalo's defense and my Patriots defense are going to be 2 of the top defenses in the league right now. But I expect it to be like low scoring. I expect it to be like the fewest points as possible, I think. So I wouldn't be surprised if it would be similar to what Buffalo did with the Jacksonville Jaguars, have just field goals in this game. In that game, I would be surprised if it came down to that, but because it's going to be a tough game, everything is going to be on the line in this game. The AFC East is on the line, possibly the number 2 or number 3, the seed in the standing is on the line too. So I think no matter who wins this game, they're both going to the playoffs. I really think so, but I have to pick a winner, and I'm picking the upset in this one, and I'm probably going to regret this pick, but I don't really care. I'm picking my New England Patriots over the Buffalo Bills in this game, in Buffalo, in that matter. On the line, though, the Bills are favored by 3 in this game. So it's an upset too. I'm going to say got my Patriots +3. Over and under is 44. I'm going to go over 44, which I will give credit which credit's due for that. I expect to be in the 20s mark as the highest. So that's why I'm going to pick over the 44 on this one. But I wouldn't be surprised. It wouldn't come down to that, really. But I'm going to, if I had to pick, my big regret for the over and under pick is probably this one. But I think it's going to be a high-flying game. I really do. Well, for one offense is going to show up. I'll say this. I think whoever's offense can compute the most penalties or something like that, I think they're going to win the game. That's the way I look at it. So, but I still think my Patriots are going to win out with the upset in this one. So I'm going to take, like I said, take my Patriots over the Bills. Take my Patriots +3 and the over 44. All right, that will be wrapping up my picks for the week. Hope you enjoy it. So, my big shout out this week is the Blind Canadian Cat. Check him out. He's a very good NFL YouTube prognosticator. And check out the rest of the NFL YouTube prognosticator page in the description down below right here. Until then, that being said, I hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving. And good luck to all your Week 13 picks. And rock out.